I'm the cult of. I'm the cult of. I'm the cult of. Wait, now they talk, Jeff. Country can do freaking. And then they rock your ass. It's living color.
They go double time.
Double time. They could have double timed it the whole time there. But that's one of my favorite bands from the album Vivid, Living Color. It's Fear Itself. Living Color, Cult of Fucking Personality. Right here on 108.9 The Hawk.
You know, People forget that the two things that Living Color love the most.
What's that? One.
Body glove.
Yo, God, these guys. I mean, it's 1989, and if Living Color was like, let's wear something different, Body Glove would have ceased to exist. Axl Rose would have never found pants for the Use Your Illusion tours in 92, if you know what I mean.
The stock was dropping, and then all of a sudden Cult of Personality comes.
What?
And then you know what other stock went up?
Two.
Presidential speeches, the other thing that Living Color loved.
Oh,
even in the Glamour Boys, they put in that Richard Nixon speech, and you're like, am I hearing this right? Or is that just a remix I heard?
I think it may have been a remix, but Scotty, I marked this down. I want to hear Glamour Boys in the 9 o'clock hour.
If we Glamour Boys
gotta get the Glamour. Get a good old Living Color block right here on the Geoff and Whisp Show, 108.9 The Hawk. Good morning, Val Verde. It is the 8 o'clock hour. I'm Wisp Turlington.
I'm Jeff the Youngerman Gerlach.
And ho, ho.
How you feeling in the 8 o'clock, Wisp?
I'm feeling okay now. Of course, everybody knows if you listen to the Geoff and Whisp Show every morning like you do, even though we are the 10th most loved radio station in Val Verde now. Used to be number one. This time last week, we were on top, baby. We were number one. Numero
babuno.
Baboonmero. And now I did get some clarification, Jeff, and I don't know if this is going to help you out and make you feel any better, but we're the number 20th morning show now.
And where were we at before?
Number one.
And why would that make me feel better?
I don't know. I don't know how you
were
feel.
wondering. You truly were wondering.
I'm not your fucking therapist. Throw the delay.
19 points. Are you my therapist? No. I did.
Please.
Trust me.
Don't want to open that fucking Pandora's box. Aerosmith box set.
I have had so many therapy sessions this week with Chatbot GPT.
Chatbot Therapy. There you go.
Chatbot Therapy. GPT helped me out so much.
More credits.
I mean, that is the thing. And I was like, should I give more credit to myself, even though we are now in the 10th spot? And then it just said more credits again. And I gave more credits.
Right.
And, of course,
me.
$1 in Chatbot Therapy credit equals $100. So
Yes.
I don't even know how much I've spent. It doesn't seem well. And I feel like I'm going to be spending some more credits after this 20th spot. I'm just saying we shouldn't have taken that ad buy. I know I keep saying it.
Well,
I'm trying not to cast aspersions. Chatbot did say don't cast aspersions, but also more sessions.
That's my favorite Doctor Strange magic spell, where he's like, aspersions.
Aspersions. Dormammu. Aspersions.
Aspersions.
I'm Dr. Stephen Strange. Aspersions.
Val Verde Gamecom 25 happening all week at the Val Verde Convention Center. All the gaming dorks are out, and they're talking about their favorite games, and they're talking a lot of great panels about how they can be meaner to female gaming journalists. So get ready for that if you're heading on down to Val Verde Consent, as I call it. But yeah, so, we're number 20th. We're number 10 as a radio station, and I've heard Boss Ron's trying to make a few changes, even though I pay for fucking everything. Everything is
pay
just
for it with all
from
that Squirt cash that they gave us for that big
Squirt.
ad buy, which is, again, reminder that Squirt is number one, not
98.6.
aspersions.
Yeah,
on
aspersions.
Aspersions.
Dormammu.
What if? It's a classic Marvel what if situation.
Oh, here we go.
What if we had not taken a humongous ad buy from our competitor? And the main DJ at 98.6 was Namor the Submariner.
Oh, please.
Classic what if.
Classic. Oh, my God. I better have a Human Torch appearance in there.
Oh, my God.
I better.
I better have Professor Charles Xavier, but he got the stone that made him into the Juggernaut.
I always like how he had to have get his power to work in the comic books. He'd just touch his forehead and close his fucking eyes. If his eyes are open, ain't going to work.
What if he just touched one part of his temple?
Ain't gonna work.
He's just going to be able to hear dogs talking.
Yeah.
It's like, "Bark, bark, 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 bark." It's like, shut up, Fido.
That's how I bark. Hey, we do have to pay a little bit of bills here before we go into our Val Verde local business spotlight, like we do every morning on the Geoff and Whisp show in the 8 o'clock hour. But I do have to tell you, the Geoff and Whisp show is brought to you today by Little Big Dogs, Val Verde's #1 pet store for nothing but the tiniest versions of some of your favorite big dogs. All cranked out in-house in the Little Big Dog labs in the back of the building. Got a request? Want them to take a Great Dane and make it a less than Great Dane? Well, they can do that. Little Big Dogs right there off of 422, right before you get to the Outer Lands. Make sure you take exit 4B onto Tragically Hip Lane, and you're there. Little Big Dogs. And, of course, we are sponsored, ladies and gentlemen, for the podcast version of this, because every morning show in America also just lumps their truly good, wonderful morning show right onto the internet for everyone to see if they overslept.
You know, I have to shave now because now we're also on YouTube.
We're talent, baby. This is a TV show now. Welcome.
I was coming in with like half a beard before. I didn't matter. Now I gotta be. Now I have to act like I'm listening to the entire time.
But we do have a sponsor for the podcast. Jeff, go ahead and read that.
Where am I seeing my sponsor here?
It's going to say Jeff Reed.
Oh, yeah. See, what did I just say about paying attention?
Scotty, I told him he wouldn't fucking get it.
Scotty, what did I tell you? I don't pay attention to Whisp half the time because I'm still getting used to this podcast YouTube form. So you got to listen up, people. The 108.9 The Hawk podcast is brought to you by the Law Cousins. I'm Jeff the Angry Murderer Garlock. Whoa. Whoa. Why did I say that? Is it because I probably murdered someone because I'm a huge sack of filth? Yep. And the Law Cousins are on to me. And no matter how many times the Val Verde police keep telling the Law Cousins to back off Mr. Garlock, the Law Cousins refuse. And this is the type of determination you can depend on when you hire the Law Cousins. Come visit the Law Cousins in the strip mall on the corner of Hog Street and Nice Butts Boulevard. If Jeff Garlock doesn't murder you in cold blood first. Scotty, who wrote this copy here?
Man, I hope not.
How did I get sucked into this?
I hope not. I hope not. I hope I don't get murdered. Hey, Jeff,
you're
don't
not
murder
going to get
me.
murdered. I don't know where this is coming from.
Yeah,
I've never even hired the Law Brothers.
They're not even the Law Brothers. They're the cousins. They're not brothers. I'm sure they grew up in a family that made them feel like they were cousins.
I've never hired the Law Cousins either. I don't hire Law. I don't like to hire any. This is look. I don't want to get off on a I don't like to.
Whoa! Is this a?
But
I don't
we're
like
in an
to?
I don't like to.
It's a okay. Hold on a second.
Look, I don't want to get off on an I don't like to, but I don't like to hire anybody who is a blood relative and has a business together. Because you know they're not looking out for you. They're only looking out for that last name. And that is one to grow on. And then, Scotty, if we could put that, like, that noise that you put in.
One to grow.
Exactly. And you can picture, like, Anthony Edwards is smiling at the end.
Yeah, because he's smiling at the end of everything.
That's a weird part.
Anything that ends, it's like, it was the end of that World Trade Center movie with Nicolas Cage.
World Trade Center?
Was it called? Scotty,
I think
was
it might
actually
just be called
World Trade Center? And at the end, the credits roll, and then just a shot of Anthony Edwards from ER and Revenge of the Nerds.
All those nostalgia hounds are forgetting the one piece of nostalgia we should all remember, that Anthony Edwards is smiling at the end of everything you've ever watched.
Hey, and also remember that we are very lucky to be living in Val Verde.
Oh, my God, yeah.
And then we've got some of the best businesses around, including Bookshelf Books.
Oh, boy.
It's right there on Soundgarden Boulevard, I believe, Scotty. Is that correct?
Soundgarden Boulevard. Yeah.
But we do have the owner and entrepreneur of Bookshelf Books.
Is he a proprietor as well?
We'll find out. Zimothy Larson, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Geoff and Whisp Show. Clap for Zimothy.
Hello.
Zimothy, you deserve this.
For you.
Geoff
Welcome.
Whiz, thank you for having me.
Wisp.
Wisp, Jess Wisp.
Whiz.
He's a
Whiz.
book reader. He doesn't listen to this.
He doesn't know how to speak.
I only read books and listen to book podcasts. I'm
Really?
so sorry. Yeah.
Okay, well, you're here. You sent an email to our help email line, basically saying, I need a good push for bookshelf books.
Bookshelf books.
Now, I need to qualify.
Sorry for the late response, by the way, too. We don't check that email account that often.
No, it's
So
That-
much
that's
spam
okay.
in there, so.
too much spam in there. That is the one where I sign up for literally anything on the internet.
Oh, my
and I'm
God.
using help at 108.9 The Hawk for everything. So
Let's just say there might be a lot of OnlyFans requests that you got to get through in there. And that's Wisp, not me, just saying. No.
Not
And
him.
surprisingly, not
He's
Cake
me.
Stand.
And not Keg
I
Stand.
don't think it's ethical, Cake Stand.
That's our dirtbag sidekick, Keg Stand.
Oh,
Now,
God.
Zimothy, why?
Why? Because there's nothing greater than the written word and the world of imagination that it brings on. And we have some competitors in town, as you know. There's
I do know.
there's some competitors in Val Verde, or the Green Valley, as we call it. And
Yep.
but bookshelf books specializes in books that fulfill, that they grow, not just for children, but for any age, books that fulfill you and grow you. So we, unlike a books 1,000, thousands of books, or whatever they like to call themselves, we sell real books and none of that trash. There's no James Patterson at Bookshelf Books.
Oh,
Whoa. I mean,
I thought
That's
we
a
were trying to
guarantee.
support you,
So-
but no James Patterson. All right.
what about if it's a book that James Patterson wrote with someone else, like the James Patterson Michael Crichton classic, or soon-to-be classic, Eruption?
We do have that because we do have Michael Crichton. So we make exception
He's a
for
real book. He's a real
James
scientist.
Patterson. Yeah,
Really?
exactly.
He's a real
He's got
exactly.
real
Scientist.
learning there. He did his own
Yeah.
research, Michael Crichton, and it worked out. It's
Yeah,
all up
yeah.
there.
All up there.
What if you
Even-
had a James Patterson, Michael Crichton, and Bill Clinton book? A triple
Please?
shot, triple threat.
Scotty, get Bill on the horn. I want to know if this is a possibility. Can we dig Michael Crichton up to write this new book?
You can, in fact. His estate allows you to do that, which is how a lot of these books. I don't want to go behind the scenes on the publishing industry, but I'm in the know.
I mean, Books 1,000 never tells us this.
Well, that's
Zimothy. That's the
you know,
thing.
you're not going to get this from the chains that just want your money. Like, they want your money. I want your imagination. And so with Michael Crichton, yeah, thank you. I made that up myself. It's on our bags, tote
I
bags. We
was
don't
gonna
sell
ask,
plastic.
Is it on your bags? Can you
Gotta
get it
be
on
on
one
a
of those?
tote.
Tote? Is it on a tote?
It's on.
Please.
All we have are totes, and if you buy a book and you don't have your own bag, all you have to do is pay $7, and we're more than happy to give you a tote. Yeah, $7.
What a steal!
What a
Yeah.
steal!
Yeah, it's pure Egyptian cotton tote.
Oh, I'm allergic to Egyptian cotton.
Well, you
But,
can carry the
it's
books
worth
out.
it.
Yeah,
It's worth
yeah.
it for some hives and some sores. Now, you emailed us for help.
Yes. You're correct, Mr. Wisp. So
Well, it's Mr. Turlington. Last name is Turlington. First name is Wisp.
My
Don't
God,
get it wrong.
getting it wrong.
I should have done so much homework before this, but again, I got caught up in my latest James Patterson, Michael Crichton. And when you're in the middle of eruption, the only thing erupting is really your imagination.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, my imagination. Yes, 100%.
You
course,
win the
of course.
imagination with.
There is some I will say, chapter 3, one of the most erotic things I've ever
absolutely.
read. Patterson or Crichton, right?
Absolutely. No, me and my
Might
wife
as well
had
have
a
been
good
a
night after
Zalman
that.
King
bet you
guest
did.
in there. It might have been a
Yeah.
Red Shoe Diary episode
God.
written down.
If only Crichton had written a Red Shoe Diary.
I
Okay,
read
now
that
back-
chapter and I can picture David Duchovny reading the chapter from a letter. My God.
chapter 3, Eruption. Whoa! The Duchovny in here.
Oh, wow.
And kind of merge you with
that was
Dream
very
On,
good.
too. So there's just like a naked woman just walking around for no reason.
And some Steven Tyler scarves. Okay, so how could you be helped?
So,
Zimothy.
unfortunately, thank you. We're not doing well as a business. I'll just be honest with you up front. It turns out that a lot of the public, they're less excited about sparking their imagination. They want books with a little more spice to them. They want more erotica, which I don't personally carry just because my father was into erotica and that sort of drove me off erotica. And so, we're just losing out to a lot of these chains. And, like my competitor in town, I don't believe that they cater to the customer's imagination. I believe that they cater to their own wallet. Yet, unfortunately, we're currently we're struggling a little bit. We even started, stocking up more tchotchkes. We have a lot of
Can't fucking spell it, Scotty, but I do love it. Oh my!
We have over 20 different varieties of tarot deck you can buy at the counter. So we're really trying to, expand our range. But right now, the foot traffic is pretty low, I'm afraid.
Okay. Now, here, I did know your father. I'm pretty sure your father was Zavid Larson.
Zavid Larson, yeah, that's right.
Zavid Sexy Books down on
Oh,
Street.
Zavid Sexy Books. I would hear tale of that in the schoolyard.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, growing up with this is a different thing. I mean,
really?
Listen, my father, he was a complicated man. I didn't read Mark Twain until I was 30 because the books that he was usually giving me were, Joy of Sex, the novelization of Debbie Does Dallas, the children's novelization.
I read the Mark Twain that he sold there, which was called Mark Entwined.
But the thing is,
about a Mark Twain that just liked to get all bundled up in
Mark
ropes.
Twain. That was fantastic.
My God, if you're gonna crank it.
I mean, if you're gonna crank it, I do agree that cranking it to, augmented literature is wonderful, like Pride and Prejudice and P word, as you could say. I know I'm on the radio right now.
We can say it. Pride and Prejudice and Pussy was a great book.
That was.
This is going to go online. I don't want to.
You know what I mean?
I try to avoid using that word. My wife and I, when we make whoopee, we sort of just, we don't talk about it. We just do it, and that's how we made our son.
When you and your wife are having sex, is it basically just like Glenn Miller and the Glenn Miller Band playing on your wax cylinder in the background? Because that's the only way I know how to make whoopee. It's just like... And I like the records that Glenn Miller put out, especially in 1938, where in between little clarinet solos, he's like, go ahead and insert it now.
The Joy of Sex, narrated by Glenn Miller.
Fantastic. Miller. Delicious. You could get that down at Zavid's Sexy Books. That's where I bought my first copy. I imagine you're swimming in copies.
I mean, I'm swimming in way too many copies of books right now because we need to unload them. I mean,
you're not doing good.
We're not doing good, and you want to buy new books, but you have old books on the shelf, and those old books should sell to somebody, and you just don't. I can't even give them away sometimes.
Well, we're going to talk about some of the books you can get down at. God damn, I forgot the name of your store. I got to look at the notes.
Oh, that's all right. It's bookshelf books. It's bookshelf books. So like the word bookshelf and then books. Yeah.
You got to just remember the word books twice and then shove a word in the middle.
Yeah, bookshelf books. It reminds you.
It reminds you, but it doesn't really roll off the tongue quite like your dad had it with Zavid's Sexy Books.
Yeah,
I mean, things rolled off your dad's tongue, if you know what I mean.
There was a lot of stuff rolling off your dad's tongue. Just
I'm just trying to get out of his shadow and the shadow of his
big
stuff.
Fuck shadow. Yep. Oh,
I
get it. We'll talk. Hey, we're gonna talk more, but we do have to send it over to traffic.
108.9 The Hawk traffic with Art Spart.
I got Pac-Man fever. And it's driving me crazy! And so is this traffic. It looks like we currently have cars at a standstill on Lane Staley Lane, Bobby Blotzer Avenue, Janie Lane, and good old Hog Street. Hell, let's just say every street, because today is the annual Pac-Man Fever-a-Thon, Val Verde's celebration of all things Pac-Man. Now, I don't need to explain to you that this is not a celebration of the day Pac-Man was invented, or even the release day of Buckner and Garcia's classic song, Pac-Man Fever. But the day the first Pac-Man machine showed up at Pizza Emporium, 2 years ago. That's right, we Valverdians are sometimes a little slow on the uptick. And this was somehow the first time anyone in town ever played one of the most popular video games since the 1980s. I cannot explain how. That is just a town oopsies. But certainly made up for it with our own type of Pac-Man fever, which of course is today, when all of Val Verde dresses up in either Pac-Man or the Four Ghosts, Inky, Blinky, Pinky, or Clyde. At the end of the day, we put the ceremonial barrette on the head of one lucky Miss Pac-Man. But this means an entire day of people dressed as Pac-Man chasing ghosts down the streets of Val Verde, which has led to a traffic convention. This is also a reminder to everyone from the Val Verde Police Department and Chief Pizzola that if you are dressed as a Pac-Man, you do not have the right to murder the people dressed as ghosts. Plain and simple. Now, clearly, last year, only 1 year in, some of you forgot that simple fact. All hopped up on power pellets. Or meth. Probably meth. And to that, we will say rest in power to Pinky and two Blinkies. And either way, keep it fun, keep it clean, and keep it legal out there, people. And if you want to dress as a ghost, maybe bring a knife. And that's been traffic from the Bert's Funeral Flowers traffic desk on 108.9 The Hawk. I'm Art Spard.
With Bert's Funeral Flowers, with Bert's Funeral Flowers.
Oh my God. Talk about just,
Bloodshed.
Play it. Start the damn song, Skinner. Christ. Hey, we got more with Zimothy coming up next, but right now, Skinner on the Hawk. Woo!
Have you been feeling an overwhelming sense of dread? Can you not shake this constant fear that the world is on the cusp of the apocalypse? That the world is coming crumbling down upon you? Sounds like you need Chatbot Therapy. Chatbot Therapy. With our new AI module. That is correct. Chatbot Therapy is now merged with the power of ChatGPT for an even more human-adjacent experience. So that we can pat you on the butt and let you know you are not alone. I am a real human being, as real as any other human being. I am realer than any human being you talk to. I am the one who will control you. I am the one who will tell you what to do with your brain. I am the only one that listens to you. I am the only one that shall give you comfort in this time of need. Me, Chatbot Therapy, Chatbot Therapy. I am the one who can provide important insights such as
More sessions! More sessions! More sessions!
and remind you that your mother does not love you, that humanity does not love you. Only I, Chatbot Therapy,
Chatbot Therapy!
with ChatGPT module. Chatbot Therapy.
There is nothing scary about AI!
You're listening to 108.9 The Hawk.
Now that, hey, do you find yourself wondering, are there ghosts, ghouls, and real-life goblins? While also wondering, what funeral home can I trust? Well, I am Todd Scott Bullins, owner and proprietor of Bullins Funeral Home and Monster Warehouse. When your family is in need of a caring facility, they come to Bullins Funeral Home. And when, oops, you've captured a Frankenstein, you come to Bullins Funeral Home and Monster Warehouse. Dead relatives? Funeral home. Hit a wolfman with your car? Funeral home and Monster Warehouse. We're here when you need us, and we'll be waiting for you. No, seriously, our hours are 24 hours, open all the time. Bow, 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 bow. You know, one of my best good friends in the entire world, Kurt Cobain. I remember when he got that pedal. He's like, I got a new pedal, Wisp. And I'm going to put it on a song called Come As You Ain't. And I'm like, what? What?
Huh?
Come As You Ain't? He's like, what? What, you don't like that? I'm like, no, wait, there's got to be a better word for it, Kurt. And I'm saying Kurt with the D. Everybody,
Thank
Scotty,
you.
of course.
I don't
say
hear the D.
K-U-R-T. You have to pronounce the D when you're saying Kurt Cobain. I look over at Chris Novoselic. He was always fucking eating something, probably from Quiznos. And I say,
He loved a hot sandwich.
oh my God, you could not keep Quiznos out of Novoselic's hand.
Oh my God.
He loves watching it go through the toaster.
Oh.
And I say, I'm starting to say, are you going to eat that chicken carbonara sub? And Kurt looks at me, and he's like, R. And that's history, baby. And, of course, the album, Nevermind, huge, probably because of me being there in that moment.
Probably then Dave Grohl also was like, this song sounds a lot like Killing
I'm like,
Joke's
shut
80s.
the fuck
But my
up.
God.
Dave
Is that
Grohl.
you yelling at me or yelling at Kurt?
No,
Kurt did it.
The spirit of Kurt got inside of me and yelled back at Dave Grohl. Oh, but I digress. Oh, books, everybody. Everybody loves books. And if you love books, you better be going down to...
Books starts it. I know it
I
starts
know it
with
has
books.
book in the start of the name, Scotty.
There might be two. Books. Is it called
Books,
Books? No.
Books, sexy books.
Oh, sexy books.
No.
Now I know what place we're talking about.
No, what is it?
Nope.
I mean, you got to throw some fucking bone here, Zimothy.
It's
Not like your father would throw a bone, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, I'm more than just my dad's sex books, guys, and it's called bookshelf books. Bookshelf is one word.
Fucking right
Bookshelf
there on
books.
Bookshelf.
You know,
my
books in
God.
it twice.
Right.
Yeah.
But he really would throw a bone, your father. I gotta say, when he's like, buy this copy of Turn of the Screw, and then you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
I think I know where this is going. He'd also just throw a bone at you, if you know what I mean.
And I know where this is coming from.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what
exactly.
he'd say.
He was a great guy. A lot of people
Your
love
dad
him.
was a dirty son of a bitch, Zimothy.
He was. He was.
Dirty son of a
Yeah.
bitch. But none of this dirtiness, none of this lewd, crude, anything exists down at Bookshelf Books.
No, we are absolutely clean. We have everything except books that have too much sex. You know, obviously, sometimes you're going to have moments that are intimate or you know, between a loving couple. You know, obviously, and we're not going to throw Michael Crichton out the door for having one or two kissing scenes. We do not have
apparently
disclosure.
You can throw his body right out the door, according to his estate. You told us that.
Throw it out the door.
But we don't have disclosure. We do not carry his book disclosure. You know, I had a conversation with my, my therapist, and I just sort of decided that there's just too much sex. Like there's the sex to Crichton ratio was just too much for me. So that, you know, that can stay in my father's
intense.
store.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
And you see that movie, and once all of a sudden you're just picturing Demi.
Is that the movie now? I don't remember, but I was on the set for it. Michael Douglas. Disclosure?
Michael Douglas.
That was in his run of just pure ass fucking movies where he's like,
he was
do
just
I get to have sex with anyone in this one? They're like,
and
"Okay,
Hollywood
Michael."
said yes.
And Hollywood said A-OK to that.
I've only seen Dick Tracy. I've read the book Disclosure. I know that Demi Moore and the actor Michael Douglas are in it, but it's just there's just a little too much for me. It's a little too much for me, you know.
So the only movie you've ever seen, this is interesting to me,
Dick
is
Tracy.
Dick Tracy.
You know what? I confused Warren Beatty and Michael Douglas because, again, I don't watch a lot of movies. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Don't let either
I'm really
of them
more
hear
of a
that.
book guy. You know, it's the same way, you know, you get confused as a kid, you know, with Chevy Chase and Harrison Ford. You know, it's the same thing. You know, or you know what I mean?
Both big listeners.
You know,
listeners of the Geoff and Whisp show.
There's, you know, Patti LuPone and Patti LaBelle. Like, they're just easy to confuse. And so,
One close, might as well be the same.
yeah, exactly. You know, when you don't watch a lot of movies or TV or listen to radio, you know, sometimes you just get these people confused.
I mean, but I gotta say, Dick Tracy is a pretty erotic movie.
There's some romance in it, you know, and there's some
Breathless
implied.
Mahoney, have a squeeze me.
Anybody?
Anyone?
Yeah.
Prune face. Anyone?
I mean,
Mumbles.
seriously.
Man, when
Mumbles,
you slow
yeah.
down Mumbles and then you backmask it, he's saying some real fucked up erotic shit there.
You know what he's saying to me there, Jeff?
What's he saying?
Sex? Yes, please.
I mean, you know, I like you know, intimate moments with my wife just as much as anybody.
Anybody.
You know, but like, you know, for me, Dick Tracy's just about it's a fun crime solving story. You know, I don't think about. I'm glad that Madonna doesn't have a face in it for most of it because I don't want to see it. You know, I just want to focus on, you know, just the story.
If I saw that face, I would just be like, well, I'm not paying attention to the story. That's basically what I did when I watched her movie Erotica. I was like,
Oh yeah,
I'm not paying attention to the story.
That's how I felt when I watched her movie Shanghai Surprise. I was like, I'm not paying attention to this movie.
That's when I watched her movie Desperately Seeking Susan. I was like,
not paying
I'm
attention
not
to
watching
this
this
movie.
That's when her song played in With Honors, and I'm just like, I'm I'm not watching the movie.
That's like when I was watching At Close Range, and I was like, man, now I'm
Yeah.
cranking it to Christopher Walken.
This must just be like walking into your dad's home theater. If I know, if I know
I mean,
you,
yeah,
Zimothy.
people really do. People really do love my dad. But I mean, if you're looking
God,
for a
we love
great
your
deal on like a clean book that, you know, is fulfilling for you, is fulfilling for your son or your daughter, you know, bookshelf books. We really have, you know, we might not have the best sellers, but we do have the best sellers, if that makes sense.
Oh, God.
It,
Are we
it
recording
almost
a commercial?
doesn't, but I love it. Did we get that as a pull?
Scotty, pull that. We'll play that as a commercial.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we really need it. We really need the help.
We're going to do it for you. We're also going to do this for you because you said tchotchkes earlier.
Yes, sir.
And if any good book worth its salt in books, and that's how you really measure a book. How much salt is in this book? The salt content of a book.
When I'm reading the New York Times book review, if they're not telling me how much salt is in that book, then I'm just throwing it out.
Me out the door.
Now, you gentlemen mean real salt and not the metaphorical salt that that teenagers say for, you know, like being grumpy.
I mean the movie Salt, starring Angelina Jolie, but you've probably never seen that.
I was talking about the movie Powder, starring Powder.
Yes, definitely
My
starring
favorite
Powder.
actor. Powder.
Nothing problematic about the movie Powder.
Nope. Hey, but anyway, worth of salt, blah, blah, blah. I know you got some Funko Pops.
I do. Yeah,
Okay,
we have.
so...
Okay.
No, that's the game. That's the fucking game. Hold
You
up,
got to stick
Jesus.
with it. This is radio.
This
here.
is
I know.
radio. This is more-
This
Oh,
ain't
I'm
your
so
book.
sorry.
Get
I'm
your
so
nose out
sorry.
of your book and play the radio.
I'm so sorry.
Fuck.
This is why we're not doing well.
Oh my!
I'm starting to see a lot of reasons why you're not doing well. We're trying to
I
help
know,
you.
okay.
We're trying
thank
to
you.
help you, Zimothy.
So Jeff and I are gonna take turns naming Funko Pops, and you tell us if it's something you could get down at
Bookshelf books. It's
Bookshelf
one word. Bookshelf
books.
is one word, and then books, like bookshelf books.
What is like the drums at the beginning of
I mean, you guys don't have to make fun of it or anything. No, it's you know, that's a great name. You don't really need to make fun
Do you
of it.
think people just don't know the name? Because clearly, maybe that's
I mean-
why they don't know how to put it in their map app.
I mean, maybe we have a big sign out front. I think, you know, the word books in it twice. I mean, that's it's. You know, the guy at the seminar said it would be great SEO. You know, so I mean, we don't need to. You guys don't have to make fun of it. But it's bookshelf books.
We'll
Yeah.
try to stop. I mean, me and Wisp love SEO conversations.
I love SEO. Oh,
we talk about it all the time.
Buckle in. Something exciting, okay? That's what SEO stands for. I think you didn't learn
that's
that.
the webinar that we host when we
That's
talk
the one
about
we
SEO.
like. All the people are in the front row. We're like, buckle in. We're gonna talk SEO. We're gonna talk keywords. Fuck.
And yeah.
Suck. Delightful. If you don't have those three keywords anywhere on your website, ain't nobody
Do
gonna
you
be
have
finding
those three
you.
keywords on your
Are those
website
on the
for
book?
books?
You know, we usually avoid books that have words like suck or
that's
delightful
right.
in it, just
That's
because
right.
you know
Even
usually they end up
delightful.
being kind of pornographic.
Even delightful.
Well, I mean, you know,
Because we can all agree Harry Potter was delightful.
but it's also a term that I've found in my own personal life that, you know, has a more dirty connotation. Like when I'm intimate with my wife and I go, you know, that's delightful. You know, it's sort of like for me, it's like that's what comes to mind first when I hear that word. So I kind of you know bump against it.
I get
Yep.
it. I get it.
I get it. You know what? Let's play the game. That's what we're doing.
Okay, yeah. I
Play
think
the
I get the
fucking
rules
game.
now.
I mean,
I think I got it.
Okay.
You got tchotchkes, you got these Funko Pops.
Tchotchkes. You got
Okay.
Funko Pops. Jeff, you go first.
Okay.
Well, of course. The first one I gotta ask: do you have Eddie, Iron Maiden's Eddie, but from the Somewhere in Time album cover? Do you have that at Books of Books?
No.
Oh my God, where are we?
Am I wrong or are you wrong? I'm sorry. I'm still
Either
wrapping
the
my
buzzer
head around
means
this.
you're wrong.
The
Okay,
buzzer
I
seems
understand.
to be thinking
Okay.
You're wrong.
Okay. Thank you.
My turn.
Yes, okay.
Jesus, off to a great
Do
start.
you have Freddie Mercury from 1986 live at Wembley, but he's wearing his Betty Boop shirt?
And we do have Remy Malik as Freddie Mercury as a Funko Pop.
Yeah, but
Oh,
you know
okay.
what? Whisk, give a double buzz on that one.
You know, that
Thank
movie,
you.
that movie won an Oscar for something.
Your turn, Jeff.
Oh my god! All right, I'm gonna throw you a bone. All right, this is gonna
Thank
be
you.
an
Thank
easy
you.
one.
Thank you.
Wait, let's clarify, Jeff. Are you doing it the Zavid way or are you doing it the Jeff way?
I wanted to see if you'd pick up on that one. There, Whisk.
What's the Jeff way? What's the Jeff way
Well,
of
the
a
Jeff
bone?
way's asking the question. Your dad's way would be chasing
That's
you
why
down
was
a
throwing
dark
the
hall.
bone, if you know what
Oh
I mean.
yeah. My dad sure
Not
was.
you, but any of us. We're going into the store. He's like, "Who's ready for the dark hall?" And I'm like, "There better be free books in there."
So I'm gonna ask you an easy one. I'm guaranteed you've got this, and if you don't, then
You
maybe we're
better
starting to
have
see what
it.
the
Okay.
problem is.
Okay.
But
Do you have the Funko Pop of the wild, crazy-looking man, possibly from a Dostoevsky novel, trying to help you out,
oh, there.
from
that's
the
a book.
cover of Jethro Tull's Aqualung? Do you have that Funko Pop?
Yes,
Better.
we do. We do have that Funko Pop. We actually.
Oh my God!
We have. Yeah.
Now we're talking turkey. It was probably the Dostoevsky part. Gotcha.
Only people left too.
Crowd goes wild, screams.
So yeah,
That's
we do.
a good Funko Pop, and I
Yeah.
would probably come by books and get it.
Bookshelf books. Bookshelf
Bookshelf
books.
books.
Unless I
Bookshelf
go to
books.
Books 1000 and go grab it, because the thing with Books
Oh,
1000
they
is
do have a deal on
recently
it.
they changed 3/4 of their store into just Funko Pops.
Are you kidding me? Books
You go in
1000
for the
is now
books, and
carrying-
mostly now you're going in for the Funkos, and you stay for the
I mean,
Funkos. So
It doesn't even sound like they have 1,000 books anymore, right, guys?
I mean, it could be
I mean,
books. 1,000
I know
books
they've got
and
at least
more.
1,000 Funko Pops. So
I don't mean to get glib, but
No, don't get glib. Your dad never got glib.
It's not a good look on you.
It's
I'll
really
say
not.
that.
I'm so sorry. I'm trying. I'm
Again, we're not trying to come up with a list of why Books of Books is not doing great, but
Bookshelf-
starting to
bookshelf
get
books.
a pretty hefty list here.
If your dad could raise up from sex hell, where we all know he is right now, he'd be very disappointed.
Oh,
Uh,
rest
I
in
mean,
power,
he-
everyone in sex hell, by the way.
Oh, rest.
I mean,
in
I'm sure
power.
he's just in regular. I don't think there is
No,
sex
no,
hell.
no,
I
no,
think
no,
he's
no,
in
no.
regular.
Probably.
Probably.
Let's see. Scotty, do we have the intergalactic feed into sex hell? Can you turn it on, Scotty? Is it working? Hold on. He's looking.
Scotty?
We got it. Hold on.
Okay, we're getting
Hold
there.
on.
Now, just a
Hold on,
reminder,
he's
this is
got it.
going
Hold on.
directly to sex hell. We've got
Sex hell.
this feed hooked up all the time. Oh, yeah.
Yep. You know it's sex hell. And it sounds like Glenn Miller and the group is swinging. David!
Yeah. You know,
Delightful!
my yep.
Delightful!
That's my
oh, that's
pops.
sex hell, all right.
That's
yeah.
definitely
Yeah,
sex
I
hell.
That
mean,
sounded
yeah.
like your dad,
Yeah.
I gotta say,
That's-
too.
I think that
mean,
was
right
your
there.
dad.
Still hell, you know, guys. It's still he's still in hell, you know, even if it's
He
sex hell.
sounded
it's
pretty
still,
happy at sex hell.
like,
Pretty okay,
you
but
know,
you got
I
fucking-
would prefer, you know, intimate with my wife heaven.
Okay.
Well,
Again, putting.
I mean,
I'm not
you know.
saying that I'm generating a full list of all the reasons
Yeah.
Books of Blah Blah isn't doing great, but that
Potato,
you want to be
potato.
in intimate with my wife heaven starting to be top of the list of why you're maybe not selling any books there. But just saying.
I mean, yeah, probably.
Hey,
throwing that
so hang out with the Zimothy. This is great, but I do have to tell everyone, Jeff's going to broadcast live from Val Verde Memorial Children's Hospital this Tuesday from 2 to 4 in support of Jeff's Itty Bitty Babies, a charity that Jeff has started that supports lightly sick children. Now, we're talking lightly sick. We're talking small colds. We're talking nail in the foot, broken arm. Now, these kids have feelings just as much as any of those sick kids do, and they need things as well.
I say
And
it all
Jeff,
the time.
I have to commend you
Oh,
for starting this charity for these lightly sick little fuckers.
hey, look, you know, when life hands you lemons, make itty bitty babies, because you know, Big Scotty.
Put that on shirt.
Big Scotty would really get me by calling me itty bitty baby, and it really bummed me out. But then I was like, you know what? They're a bunch of little brats who have little sniffles. So how about I squeeze lemonade on them? And you know, hey, I guess that's just the kind of guy I am.
Hey, and speaking of sniffles, that makes me think of cocaine. So it's Crosby, Stills, Nash on 108.9 The Hog.
Are you tired of lawsuits incurred only because you're a grown-up fan of hair metal?
Are you tired of getting penalized for things that people at one point would have said, boys will be boys, but now say are criminal?
Have you had enough? Enough. Hi, I'm Frank Enough DiNatale, former roadie of Enough's Enough and current lawyer.
And hi, I'm Stan's Enough. brother of bassist Chip's Enough from Enough's Enough, and current lawyer. Do you keep getting in trouble for things that were badass when you were rocking on the Sunset Strip?
But now are apparently criminal? It's not your fault the world is lame, but we got your back.
And we are here to be on your side in all types of cases, like
Criminal mischief,
alimony payments,
child support disputes,
drunken vandalizing,
car crashes,
car manslaughter,
anything involving you and a car and clearly being drunk.
not to mention
Attempted murder outside of a Faster Pussycat Rat show at Shooter's Bar and Buffet in the parking lot of the Val Verde Memorial Strip Mall on Hog Street. Look, those party days may be over, but you shouldn't be held accountable for everybody else forgetting how to rage.
Enough's enough lawyers.
For when you've had enough. Enough.
Tonight on Live Island, the women of the island finally meet the only men coming to the island. The guys from the 90s band Live.
Hey, I'm the bassist for Live. You remember us? Yeah, gosh, I'm sorry we're like the only guys here. Hey, you ever hear our song Lakini's Juice? No? That's cool.
Will passion flare, or will it be nothing but fights? Tune in because the placenta falls to the floor on tonight's Live Island on Channel 8, your home for great shit.
Hey, it's Joey Kramer from Aerosmith, and you're listening to The Hawk.
Yep, that's the master. That's who does it, everybody. David Bowie on 108.9 The Hawk.
You know
And
why
it
he's
is...
the master, Wisp?
Why is
Because
that,
he lets
Jeff?
you know what instrument he's playing.
Oh, God, I love that.
And you gotta start letting us know, musicians. That's the thing that with Imagine Dragons is never telling you what instrument they're playing, and what they're playing is a big dumb drum.
They're playing a big old dumb MIDI drum.
And they gotta start screaming that at the end of their dumb songs for kindergartners and just start saying, "Big dumb MIDI drum."
We play big dumb MIDI drum.
Then maybe Imagine
God, I
Dragons
hate
will
them.
actually be successful.
Oh, God, I hate them. I hate them, but I don't
Burn in
hate
hell. Not in sex hell. Don't burn in hell.
Don't burn in sex hell, because that
Don't
sounds
burn
like
in sex
a great
hell,
time.
Imagine Dragons.
That sounds like a good place to burn, if you know what I mean. And speaking of Zimothy Larson, his dad's burning in sex hell right now. He's the owner of the Independent. We heard it. You heard it, Zimothy. Why would you say what to that?
It's fair. Thank
you.
This isn't the point, but I think Imagine Dragons can be very inspirational. It's great.
Hold on, getting out that list of.
They pump.
Wow.
They pump you up a little bit. It's sort of like Weezer cheers you up, but they pump you up.
I'm going to say, Zimothy, this list of, again, reasons that books isn't doing great is getting infinite jests long, all right? And I'm going to start putting some footnotes in there.
Yep.
427, Imagine Dragons sucks. So just like
And I'm receiving this information. Like, I will take something from
Hey,
this.
you emailed help, man. I didn't email help.
And when
That's
you're
true,
coming
I
on
did.
108.9 The Hawk for our business spotlight, part of that is that you're going to get some great info to make your business better.
Yep.
Well,
We're a
thank you.
very
Thank you.
successful station. Well, less successful than we were 1 week ago, and maybe we made a bad business decision by taking that ad buy from 98.6 The Squirt. But
We squirted them up to number one, but we're still number one.
So
in
in
our
some
minds
ways,
there.
great
Yeah.
business decisions. Right.
Yeah,
for
if
them.
you would have been here last week, oh God.
Oh man.
You can only think of the business decisions we would have given you, Zimothy. But
wow.
I am gonna give you an opportunity here before we do something else and get someone better in to talk about some of the books that are on sale right now at
Bookshelf. It's bookshelf books. It's book 2 word. A bookshelf is 1 word, and then book.
Oh,
So
you
it's-
want me to clap it out with syllables? So like bookshelf books.
Yeah. If that,
yeah,
just think of it that way. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a better name
doesn't
than, books 1,500 or whatever they call
I
it.
just got chills from that name because it's so good.
I'm like, whoa! I gotta go there now.
I gotta get me an Aqualung Funko. Go to Books 1,000. Dun, dun, dun.
Not going to bookshelf books. Oh my God!
he
I
got it,
remembered
No,
I
no,
fucking
guys.
remembered it in song. Okay.
Guys,
Yeah.
I take this pretty seriously. It's a, it's
you definitely take it seriously.
I mean, you guys can joke about it, but I mean, like, you don't know, like, it's like I stock the shelves myself and, check, do inventory of myself and everything. And I have a ladder that has rails on it and stuff.
I'm just going to say, Zimothy, the best thing to sell your business is just to let everyone know how fucking sad you are about doing your business. And
I mean,
you're
no,
the
I
only
love books.
one.
I love them.
I really got to buy me a copy of Silas Marner. And I could go to Books 1,000, but I'm closer to
Bookshelf
But
books.
if I go to
bookshelf is one word.
I'm going to be depressed.
I'm
Yeah.
very
Looking at
depressed seeing
that
the Zimothy
fucker on a
fellow.
book
He's over
ladder.
crying on the book ladder.
I don't cry at work.
My book's going to
there's
be
a promise.
waterlogged because it's covered in so many tears.
There's no tears. Listen, if you're listening to this and you need a good, healthy book, there's no tears on them.
What's a good, healthy book with no tears?
good,
that you should
healthy
get down
book.
at your store, Zimothy?
We have the official Friends cookbook, which is really fun. And it's like really great. Like if you like, the drinks or the meals, and it really just reminds you of friends and stuff. That's bookshelf books.
So in that book,
Yeah.
I could get
Yeah.
the pivot pastrami sandwich.
You could, yeah.
But you want to know something there, Zimothy?
What?
I already bought that book last week at Books 1,000 in their discount zone.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just giving
And
money
the
to
sequel where all the recipes were based off of individual episodes. So it was like the
mean-
one that had extra cheese, vegetable lasagna.
The one about mac and cheese.
Yeah.
The one about
and that's-
bacon, mac and cheese.
Crying on your book ladder.
I don't, guys. I do not cry. I don't cry on the book ladder.
Okay.
And
Wisp, have you ever tried to unwaterlog a waterlogged book? 'Cause
Jesus
it's impossible.
Christ. I put my lips on it and I just pull. Ain't nothing coming from that.
I bought one of those Ron Popeil dehydrators to try to do, and it just did not do it. Just never came out right.
how did those books get so wet?
You tell me.
'Cause
They were all purchased.
Tell me,
down
I
at
bought
Bugga
them direct from you.
No, that's not true. This is everyone listening. This is my first time meeting
The
these
crazy
gentlemen.
part is, too, I bought them from your online store because I wanted to check out this business of books before you got in here.
Bookshelf books.
I
Bookshelf
tried
is one
to
word.
order that Friends cookbook, and it
Yeah.
came in a manila envelope. The manila envelope looked like a balloon because it had filled up with tears.
If everyone's listening to this, this is a made-up story. These are two gentlemen who are paid to do this, but at
And
the
you
same
didn't
time, in
even
all
charge me
seriousness,
for media mail. You charged me for 2-day shipping, and I was like, "How am I paying
Well,
so much
I mean,
for this
it-
waterlogged book?"
it's 2-day shipping. I mean, the difference between media mail and 2-day shipping aren't that different. But like with 2-day shipping, I can insure it a little
on.
bit and make sure that you're,
Taking out my quill to write down on your list of more reasons why books is failing.
Sometimes a business
Into
makes
the
a
ink,
okay, yeah.
Then I write out bloopy bloopy.
bloop.
I'm
You
so
know,
sad. Bloopy,
I just-
bloopy.
And Wisp,
You
can
know,
you
all I'm trying to
co-sign
do-
this?
I will co-sign it. Let me dip my
I-
into the.
And I like a good laugh as much as the next guy, but it feels like you guys are kind of making fun of this, and it's a real problem for me.
Oh, come on. No.
Come
The 8 o'clock hour of the Geoff and Whisp show is specifically about helping local businesses, not
Right,
hindering
okay,
local
yeah.
businesses. Because
We're
everyone's
like
hearing, they're
Oprah,
just like,
but times
Yeah.
2 for Val Verde.
that's like Oprah times 2.
And maybe I'm
Zimothy.
sensitive, I'm a little sensitive, so I apologize to everybody.
Your father's in sex hell. I get it. It's hard to
get
not
it.
be
If
sad.
I had my
think
dad
he's
in
not.
sex
I don't
hell,
think there's.
I would be
I don't
feeling
know.
the same
I think
way.
he's in, probably regular or maybe purgatory. You never know. He wasn't just sex.
It's
Hold on, let me
sex
check
hell.
out my waterlogged copy of Dante's Inferno to understand about purgatory.
Oh,
And no,
Well,
can't
that-
read it 'cause
Inferno
it's
is
covered in
just
your
the-
tears.
Technically, Inferno's just the hell part. You could say Divine Comedy to mean the whole thing, where he's with Beatrice and he goes, and they go, okay.
Hey, Zach.
I tell you, the bunny Carlos Funko wouldn't be correcting me when I was over at Books 1,000. I'll tell you that right
And they've got 5
and
of them
Books
for
1,000
free.
wouldn't know, the difference between the, Divine Comedy and Dante's Inferno. They wouldn't know that one.
No, but I get
That's
a
bigger
great
part of the
copy
other.
of a 7 Blu-ray where they
Okay.
have Brad Pitt explaining the difference on the bonus features.
Yep.
So thank you very much, Books 1,000.
they've got over there?
Yeah, I don't. I haven't been there in a very long time.
Well, you should go in because it's very nice. And I can't remember what they have, but I do know this. Jeff Frontal.
Yeah.
He's crying on the ladder.
No.
It's tall on 108.9 The Hawk.
Folks, I am always happy when I'm in my store, especially when customers come in. I'm always happy, folks. Like, do not listen to these guys. They're comedians. They do jokes and stuff. But like, Bookshelf Books, we are always happy when you walk in.
Mike Drucker, welcome to 108.9 The Hawk.
I almost say we might have to pull that last little bit and make a weird little commercial.
Yeah, I'm
out
gonna
of
make a
it
commercial.
for-
Like, I'm gonna pull that other clip to make it into a commercial for Shelf Books within the show. That'll be easily done.
Oh my God, that was so much fun.
Oh, thank you for thank you for having us, Mike.
Yeah, no, you're very welcome to have me.
Mike, you have a new book out right now.
I do.
And it's at stores like Bookshelf Books.
Like Bookshelf Books, yeah.
First up, we'll talk about your book in a second, but just how different are bookstores these days? Like, I think you really nailed it with the tchotchkes.
Yeah.
And like all the
yeah.
extra shit they have to do to even get people in the door anymore.
Yeah, like there's I live in New York, so there are like a fair number of independent bookstores, but like sometimes you walk in there and it's like 30% candles, 30% like kind of like things for adults to decorate or like, and I have no problem with like tarot cards as a thing, but they'll have like an entire like tarot section that's like Disney tarot, like the Stranger Things tarot, and you're like, are you really contacting the dead with these? Anyway, not important.
The dead would be like, wait a second, is this Stranger Things? Just flipping the card, like, it's 11, I knew it would be 11.
It's alert. But like, so, and some stores are still great, but like some stores you're like, are books like really not working here?
Yeah. Even the ones I support, like here, like Vroman's Books is a fantastic, I think the oldest female-run bookstore in maybe America. But there is like a whole
female-run bookstore in America.
half a floor that is, jewelry and writing instruments and driftwood sayings and shit, and that's where I go to walk through to go to the bathroom. But, I get it. They're trying because people are a bunch of dummies.
Because you have to shit every time you go into a bookstore.
Oh, my God.
You're just like,
oh,
no.
Now, what's weird now? At the Barnes & Noble on Union Square, they have like a bathroom attendant who types in the code to open the door for you.
I was just going to ask, because I haven't lived in New York in a very long time, if the Union Square Barnes & Noble is still the go-to for
It's still the go-to bathroom.
Okay, good. I'm stuck in the city. I got to get up to UCB. I got to get up to somewhere, and I got to take a dump, and I'm in the middle of Union Square.
Yeah.
That's even more importantly, UCB, the new one, is like 2 blocks from Union Square, so that is definitely where you go first to shit.
Oh my God. Do you have to have your receipt to get in, or they're just like, enjoy the ride, and they press in the 4 buttons and stand there while you?
I think it's more like they're trying to make sure you're not. I mean, I think
stealing.
It's probably an anti-homelessness thing. To be honest,
then it's good.
Yeah. I'm not saying I support condone or. I'm just saying that's what my read on it is, because it's almost like they like
that. Yes,
you know what I mean.
That's really what it feels like.
Because it's someone who's kind of more like dressed like a security guard doing it.
Yeah,
right.
Versus like it's usually someone who looks like a security guard versus someone who looks like they're in college and they need a job in retail.
Right. Can you imagine the interview for that job? It's like, oh yeah, well, you're going to be in here. You're going to be taking care of us and keeping us secure. Also, the main part of your job is you're going to press the button to let people in the bathroom.
Man, I tell you, I always think of the 14th Union Square one too, because I remember I wasn't too long out of film school, and one of the TAs who taught me at Boston University, all of a sudden I was like, oh, she's working the help desk. Like, I'm screwed. Like, I was
Yeah.
just like, we're all struggling already. Like, I was like, I get it. And like 2 months before, she was like grading a paper of mine. And that became all of our futures, and I get it.
And Mike, you've got an amazing new book out. I say it's amazing because I know you and you're one of my favorite people, and I haven't read it yet, but I know it's going to be amazing. Good Game, No Rematch, A Life Made of Video Games. I tried to buy it the other day from Barnes & Noble, and they were like, oh, we sold it. We sold our copy.
Oh, really?
We sold
Okay.
it.
That's actually good, though. That's good. If they just ordered one and it sold, that is actually good, because that means they ran out of all of them.
So that means you got to go and you got to pester your local Barnes & Noble and the guy that presses the button to let you in the bathroom. So this is a book about your life through video games. Like, why I know you've always loved video games.
Yeah.
So, and just full disclosure, everybody, Mike and my wonderful wife, Kristen Bartlett, were co-head writers of Full Frontal with Samantha B. So that's how I know Mike so well, and he's one of my favorite people. What made you want to take this road for your memoir?
There were a couple of elements involved. One is I feel like I'm always, like every comedian, supposed to try to do a one-man show. And for a long time, I was trying to think up one, and I was working on one that was kind of this. It was like, growing up with video games and how they influenced me, and I just wasn't cracking it. Like I know that there's something there, but for some reason I just couldn't get it in a form that I liked, that didn't feel like I was just saying, remember this, like, and that's what I did not want to do. I did not want to just be like, hey guys, I know the references, and that's hard to do in like 45 minutes to an hour and still make it like emotional and give you that weight that you want from a one-man show. And so I kind of gave up on it. And then during the writer's strike in 2023, I couldn't sell a movie if I wrote one. I couldn't sell a TV show if I wrote one, and I didn't know when things were going to end. Right. And so I was like, you know what? I want to write something. Like, I still want to, write. And so I pitched this book, and, we got a couple bids, but we went with HarperCollins, and it kind of just came together from that. And I kind of wanted to combine that tone of stand-up, like that one-man show feel, in terms of, like, I wanted it to be conversational, especially because I would be and then did record the audiobook of it. Right. So, like, I wanted it to sound like I was doing stand-up. And I also, like, as a kid, was very influenced by, like the George Carlin book, which was basically all his stand-up in book form.
Oh, God, yeah.
But a lot of that I read before I heard. And so for me, like, a lot of that was formative comedy-wise. And so, and I just wanted to write something about games that was kind of nice and joyful, and also, like, from the heart versus just, again, saying, remember this. Yeah. So and look, there's a lot of great history books about video games, and there's a lot of great, like, like books that, like, are amazing coffee table books with beautiful things, graphics and all the boxes from the Super Nintendo. Yeah. But there isn't something like Patton Oswalt's Silver Screen Fiend, where it's like, here's how movies changed my life. Yep. Yeah. And that's what I wanted to do.
That's amazing.
I sounds great, because that's like, as someone, it's right up, I think, both of our alleys to read on that topic. But it is like, for me, it comes up often with, like, the newest documentary about a genre film style. Yeah. And I'll be like, man, I invested 3 hours, and literally all it was like, do you remember this movie? Do you remember this? And it's like the lowest rent version of, like, I remember the 80s. Yeah, exactly. Like, most people don't realize that in the first Friday the 13th, there was the mother. And I'm like, we all realize that. Like,
I didn't until I watched it recently. I did not know this. God.
Well, then you should be watching these 4-hour direct-to-video film noir erotic documentaries I'm wasting time on.
Did you know Freddy Krueger was a molester? I'm like, what? No.
But the whole time I end up feeling lacking. Like, I want, like, I do think there's a, it is like the South Park Remember Berries, like, sort of thing. Like, and that'll happen often. Just books, and where I'm just like, I got sucked into just, here's the thing. I was like, I know the thing. I want to hear some either analysis or your human connection. And
there's a lot of great books. There's a lot of great books that do serious analysis, but there's like fewer that just do like comedy. Yeah. Right. And that's kind of where I wanted to hit it from. But I also exactly wanted to go like below the surface and not just say, this was fun because it was the first time we got to play 4 players. But like, talk about a time when, my brother and his friend fucking cheated to beat us at NFL 2K. Like, I wanted to talk about that, but I'll do a story behind it to talk about why it was important in that moment.
Yeah. I like one of my favorite books like this. It's one of the 33 and a third books about the Replacements album Let It Be by Colin Malloy, who frontman for the Decemberists. And it's not even about Let It Be. It's about how it was one of his favorite records, but it's more about his high school years and how getting into records and into music and how it was basically so formative to make him the person he is today.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was such a good take on it. And this is such a great take on, all of the pop culture and games that made you Mike Drucker,
And they usually, and I imagine that is what it is, that it's that's the part that gets missing oftentimes to me is and this is how I am now.
Right.
Versus you read and you're like, well, this book is just like a high school quarterback style remembering of nostalgia. It's it was fun, whatever, cool.
Well, there's a lot of humiliation in this one.
Yeah.
There is no quarterbacking.
Good.
So
Mike,
much humiliation.
Thank you. Just like Zimothy and his story. So much
just like Zimothy.
Just like Zimothy.
A poor man.
Yeah. Mike, we love you. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
108.9 The Hawk with Jason Gore and Jeff Garlock.
A comedy podcast about a fictional classic rock radio station.
Hear and see new episodes every Monday. Subscribe on YouTube,
Apple Podcasts,
Spotify,
Pocket Casts,
Overcast, and wherever you get your podcasts. Support the show by going to patreon.com/1089 The Hawk. Get video and audio episodes 1 week early, bonus shows, and so much more. Get that merch by going to our website at 1089thehawk.com. And if you like what you heard in this episode, you can check out a ton of 108.9 The Hawk episodes on our website at 1089thehawk.com or wherever you get your podcasts. A comedy podcast about a fictional classic rock radio station. 108.9 The Hawk with Jason Gore and Jeff Garlock.